And you remember the article or the interview she did with the LA Times with Bill Plaschke a couple of weeks ago, I think when the season ended, and she revealed how there's a lot of pressure on her because she's the final decision maker.
Yeah.
But she takes input from a lot of people. And she admitted, whether it's like, make sure you got to do things to keep LeBron happy because he's so important to them. And then it's, Rob Pelinka, the GM. And then, of course, there's the Rambuses. Then there's Phil, who she also said, she talks to Phil. And I wonder if this is a result of that and how the Kyrie story that's out there about how LeBron reportedly wants the Lakers to trade for him. And maybe she's hearing from other people, look what happened in Brooklyn. Are you sure you want to bring a guy like that into this organization? And she could lean on Kobe and say, what do I do here? What do you think? And Kobe would probably give her that reassurance of, don't worry, I'll handle it, or the perspective that she desperately needs in a moment like this. Who can I trust? I really feel bad for Jeani. I do think that she is in a situation where she tries to get people to give her as much advice and input as possible, but everyone has, as you know, in these situations, Key, everybody's got their own side that they want you to, their own agenda.
Self-interest.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And so I think I felt like this was like a moment of desperation of, I don't even know who to trust about this, and I'm worried if I pull the trigger on this, will I regret it? And if I don't, will I regret it? Here's why. Because as Brian Windhorst explains, LeBron James is watching everything right now, and in August, it's time for him to decide his future with the Lakers. Would he sign an extension? So with the Kyrie trade kind of hanging over this franchise, here's Wendy kind of explaining how LeBron can use some leverage.
The one thing that is a potential change agent here, LeBron James wants Kyrie Irving. And it's not because he wants Kyrie Irving because he's the best teammate in his history. He wants Kyrie Irving because the Lakers can get him. He doesn't have a whole lot of choice, and he knows that he's got a contract extension situation coming up, and that's the change agent. If there's no deal by early August when LeBron can extend, will LeBron use that as a leveraging point to force the Lakers? If I were the Nets, I might be hoping so.
Think about that for a minute. LeBron using leverage. What do you think of that?
Look, getting Kyrie is an easy one for me. What Jeani has to come to grips with is the self-interest is only in LeBron James. Nobody else you should pay attention to. Because everybody else, the Rambuses and Phil Jackson and all them, put them aside. I understand the relationship. I understand the relationship with Linda. I understand the relationship with Kurt Rambis. I understand all that. But put that aside, okay? Because it's your team, not their team. And the guy on your team who's the best in the world, you might want to listen to in terms of going and getting Kyrie. If he says that's what he wants, then go do it. And if you don't do it, now you force him to say, do I want to still be a Laker? Now I got to take a chance on my reputation. So if I don't sign the extension, this thing could blow up not only on the Lakers, but also on LeBron James from a fan base standpoint, because the fans will then turn on him in a whole nother way. I've seen it happen many times over with Laker fans here in L.A. about certain players and the way that they would view disrespecting the franchise, so to speak, by not – I saw it happen with Dwight Howard, not the same player as LeBron James, but Dwight Howard was supposed to be. And then he came here for a year, and they went and did all this stuff and put all the murals up and signs all over the state, and he decided to go to another team. And so but LeBron's got to be careful with that as well.
Really? See, that's a lot to kind of digest there. The idea that Laker fans would turn on LeBron for leaving instead of being frustrated with the franchise for letting him go. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, because the